All right. Hi, Ollie. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to have Holly here with me. Holly's my friend. She's a wife and mother of two. You homeschooled your kids, and you're actually also a cancer survivor, and that's
Mhm.
a recent experience within the
Sorry.
last year.
Yeah.
And you became a mind, body, spirit intuitive coach in 2018. And this is really what I wanted to ask you about. We're facing so much unrest, uncertainty, for various reasons currently, that it seems like a really timely thing to talk about. So anything we can do to help, um, that would be great. So what is exactly MBS intuitive coaching?
So, mind, body, spirit, intuitive coaching. Um, it's like as it sounds, it encompasses, keeping your mind, your body, and your spirit all healthy and cared for. I coach from the perspective that we're all energy, and what we put out, we get back, and that if you can, and I don't want to just say stay positive because it does. I want to. My mom always called me Pollyanna, but if you can come from if you can change your perspective slightly about situations, and you can really change the way you feel inside, and that can affect your entire life and how you feel about things. Like first, fear versus love can affect how your body operates. So you can affect your health as well. It's all connected. So I coach from
That's
that perspective, and I help people from relationships, money, job, just like a feeling of uneasiness or dissatisfaction with their life and they really don't know what it is. And I use different processes and conversation, and the intuition part comes in, something that we all have, but I use some intuition, which it's always funny. I call it the woo woo. Um, and it's just like, I'll get pictures or just a feeling and I'll just run it by you. And a lot of times they'll land with people. And it kind of helps guide me into like how to help and love someone.
This is really neat. In this time recently, when I've spent so much more time at home, I've really tried to sort of like connect more with my inner self. And one of the things I started doing more of, I tried some of it before, but I really sort of started focusing on yoga recently, and I've learned a lot about breathing, fascinating things, how the breathing can affect your well-being. And so
Mhm.
what you're saying sounds somewhat connected to that. How did you, find this? How did you decide that this
Sorry.
was something you were going to be interested in pursuing?
So this started when I think back, like this like started for me at a pretty young age. I always kind of like knew there was more out there or suspected there was more out there. I think I was like as looking back as a kid, like very philosophical, like I remember thinking about like, how did I end up in this house with these parents at this place at this time? Like, how does this all work? And and different people, throughout my life, different books came into my life and different people who just I kind of became going on this path of, oh God, I'm so sorry. I
That's
think
okay.
it's the school, you know what it is? It's all the schools call you at once.
Oh,
So they're just
yes.
connected to my
Of
phone. And so
course.
I could get phone calls at the same time. Um, which is so funny. Uh, so it was something I kind of feel like I was always guided to. And my husband started working with a coach that we just kind of fell into. And it was really funny how the way it was like, it was my hairdresser, put it on her Facebook. And then this woman, her favorite band was our favorite band. And it was just like all these funny things that led to her. And then I really started learning more about mind, body, spirit coaching. And I never considered coaching, but I really enjoyed the process. And I took some intuition classes, and then I was really called to this class. Before that, struggled in my marriage, struggled with my parenting, and, just normal things, because it's, both are really hard.
Yeah.
And I learned along the way that I really it wasn't about all these outside things affecting me. It was really about the work I did on the inside. And if I did the work on the inside, then my outer life became much better. And so I took that class, and then right after I was certified is when I was diagnosed with cancer. And it was funny, my teachers were like, "You're now going to get your PhD in this topic."
Right.
And if I hadn't taken that class before I went through cancer, it would have been a completely different experience. So I really feel like I was guided to do that work. And through that class, I really learned that I did like coaching people. And it's just like this, it's just conversation and helping and sharing of information. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I, since I've known you, I really think that you are one of the strongest women I've ever met. And that definitely comes through. No, I thought that even before your experience with cancer. So it's, I think I can attest to that. I'm curious about what, given everything that's going on with the pandemic and the social unrest, what are some things that people can do to take care of themselves? What advice do you have?
So there are some really basic things that we can do to take care of ourselves. And first, I just want to say that taking care of yourself, I've come to learn, is like one of the most important things you can do. And especially as women, we often feel it's very selfish to do self-care. Like we put it to the bottom of our list and we don't have time. And I just want to say that if you just take care of yourself, even 2 or 3 things for yourself during a day, the amount of energy you have to give to others was just tenfold. And I really learned that over cancer, but after I was all done, I took a week yoga retreat in Mexico without my family. And I felt, even then I was like, oh my gosh, this just feels wrong. Like this is too decadent, right? Like even after everything I went through. And I came back from that feeling like every woman needs to do this every so often, because I just felt so much better, and it felt so good to give to myself. And I was able to then give so much more to my family and my friends. And I think right now, especially with everything that's going on with COVID and our social unrest, that I think that it's now more than ever, it's like really, really important to take care of ourselves so we can take care of other people. I think 2 things that we can really do are staying grounded and practicing gratitude, which you hear a lot about because it works.
Yeah.
For staying grounded, I mean quieting our mind through meditation, breathing. Those are really important. Breath, I think, is just like one of the most important things. If you're new to meditation, if you can just stop and just breathe really deeply every so often, it helps center and ground yourself. I even have a reminder on my phone 3 times a day that says, remember to breathe.
To breathe.
And
Wow.
I'll often just like big breath in and a large exhale out. And it just kind of helps ground you. You can other things to ground yourself is time in nature, Epsom salt baths, gardening, journaling, spending time with friends can be very grounding if it's a good group and you're laughing. Laughter is such a great way to just kind of center and ground us. Like when we're not grounded, we often will be like, oh, I'm so in my head, or you kind of feel spinny and you feel like you're operating up here. When you're grounded, you feel more centered. You can feel it like in your gut. It's a physical feeling you can feel. So that's very important. And then gratitude is, just something small you can do. When things get really crazy, or I'm feeling really like negative thoughts are coming, when those negative thoughts come, they can spiral, and you can head on a trajectory that more negative thoughts until you're just way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
to bring myself back, sometimes I'll just go for a walk, time in nature, and I'll just be like, the sun's shining, there's birds chirping, there's green grass, and then just really general of things to be thankful for. One of my teachers, my favorite one was always indoor plumbing, because who doesn't love indoor plumbing? So I just that's always thank goodness I have indoor plumbing. I am so grateful for that. And just that small tweak can just make you feel a little bit better. Even if you're really scared, it can make you just feel a little less scared. You're not going to go from scared to I feel amazing. It's just those little steps at a time, and we can catch ourselves and do that.
These are great reminders. Yeah. I think I'm guilty of not doing this, but I do find a difference when I exercise, when I'm out in the sun, or I walk the dog, or I even started gardening recently, which I'm definitely not a green thumb, but I had more time, and that I found some solace in that as well. So I think the struggle or the challenge is it sounds like, remember to schedule it within our day and to make it happen.
Yeah.
So this is great. One last thing, one of the things you said that I really I think related to was one of your suggestions is ask what I can learn from this instead of why is this happening to me? Because I do it. I say, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And instead I should flip it. I thought that's so valuable. I think
that is such a powerful one to say. Instead of why is this happening? Why is this happening? To say, what can I learn from this? What is this teaching me? And when I went through cancer, that was something that just would save me. And there was lessons to be learned. I had to learn to receive, because there was an outpouring of support. And it's funny how uncomfortable we are receiving love sometimes. And I had to just learn to do that. And with COVID too, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Well, what can we learn from this? And that's so much more of a powerful statement, rather than why is this happening is more of a victim,
right.
It's happening to you. But when you say, what can I learn? That's it's very powerful. I don't want to say take control, but it's very makes you feel better. It's in your body. Again, it's all in your body.
Yeah,
the connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. So grateful for your time, Holly. I really want to thank you for spending these few minutes with us. There's so much more I think that you can give. And if it's okay with you, I'll include your contact information. You're available for personal sessions, correct?
Yeah, I'm available for personal sessions. I also opt for a complimentary 15-minute session, just to make sure it's a right fit. You always want to find a coach that you gel with, vice versa. So it's nice to be able to try each other out first. So I offer that as well.
All right, great, awesome. I will make sure everyone is aware of that. And thanks again for your time. Have a wonderful rest of the day and the week. Take care, Holly.
Thank you, Barbara.
All right, bye.